Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we're doing a current favorites video. I have so many products that I have been absolutely loving lately and I've been meaning to film this video for quite a while, but I just keep putting it off, but it's time to talk about some favorites. Also, if you're curious about this eye look, I did film it for my Glaminatrix Nearly Natural 2 looks plus review video. That'll be coming up soon, hopefully. I've got a lot of products to talk about today and some unexpected favorites, which those ones are always the best ones. So let's just get right on into it. Okay, so let's start off with Chic products. I only have a couple of things to talk about, but these two I've been using, especially together, non-stop. So this one is an old favorite of mine, but I have just been using it so much. It's the CoverFX Blush Duo in Soft Peach. It looks like this. So let me know, do you guys know of anyone that has hit pan in these CoverFX blush duos, or if it's even possible? Because I have never seen anyone hit pan in them in all the years that these have been out. But I can see myself hitting pan in this matte shade because, oh my gosh, I'm wearing this blush today quite lightly actually, but this is the perfect peachy blush. I have such a love affair with this one. I love layering the shimmery shade on top of the matte shade. This genuinely just works with everything. Like, this blush just works with pretty much every single look that I want to do. And if I'm doing a look where I just want to do something super simple, I don't want to faff around with, you know, like many eyeshadows or anything, like just some graphic liner, I always pair this blush with it because it just works. It flatters my skin tone so beautifully. It's such a lovely, just perfect peachy shade. Like, Soft Peach is the perfect name for it. I feel like I have a slight dip coming along with this shade, and I have another one of these CoverFX blush duos, and they've been out for so long, but they are so good. They are still fantastic. As much as I love this, I don't think I would recommend buying these full price. I'd recommend catching them on a sale because I think they're a bit overpriced, in my opinion. I have to force myself to use other blushes because this is just definitely, like, #1. I feel like this is tied with Lethal Nectar, and that's saying something because Lethal Nectar has been my #1 for so long, but I think this is coming close to it. Now, this product I was totally not expecting to love. I was really surprised, like, when I started using it, and I feel like I've talked about this in a lot of my videos lately, so this is probably not a surprise to you, but this is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Moon Peach. It's one of their pearlized highlight formulas, and this came out with the Avatar collection. I don't know if this is available still. This was sent in PR, and honestly, I am head over heels in love with it. This is the highlight this is my most used highlight this year. Ever since I got it, this is basically the only highlight I've been wearing. Again, I have to force myself to reach for other things. This is the most beautiful peachy, like, shade with a blue sheen in it. It's not gonna do it. The swatch isn't gonna do it justice. Because this is a Super Shock formula, like, it's that squishy putty formula, it just blends into your skin seamlessly. Like, my lighting does not show anything justice. You can make this super natural, you can build it up to be really intense. Like, this is my everything. And I don't know, I think because it's the peach with the blue, it's still natural, but it has something different to it. It has something a bit more bright and exciting. And it works with basically every single look. I am so surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting to love this formula as much as I do because I'd never tried the Super Shock Cheek formula from Colourpop. And why did it take me this long? Why? Because this is so good. It melts into your cheeks so nicely. It's so... oh, I'm not wearing it today. I did try and reach for another highlight in my collection, but as I was applying the other highlight, I was like, man, why didn't I use Moon Peach? Like, Moon Peach, there's just nothing compares. Even though it is a, like, putty formula and I have oily skin, this still lasts on my skin literally all day. And I would be curious to try out some more Super Shock highlights from Colourpop, but at the same time, why would I stray from Moon Peach? And also the name is absolutely adorable. Moon Peach. So cute. Alright, so those were the cheek products I have to talk about. Let's move on to eye products. I have a few singles to talk about and a few palettes, so let's start off with the palettes, shall we? Now, both of these palettes are from Glaminatrix. Both were sent in PR, but I absolutely would have bought these for, like, if they weren't sent. So the first one is this absolute beauty. It is the Nocturnal palette. And I'm really sad because Glaminatrix have discontinued this palette, I believe, but they are making it so you can buy the singles, like, individually. The palette looks like this. It is truly the perfect grungy palette. This is number one. Out of all the grungy palettes in my collection, this is right up there. I haven't done a 2 looks plus review video with this one. I'm really surprised. This came right around the time I was moving house, so I just didn't have the time to film a 2 looks video. Let me know if you'd still want to see it, even though I know this palette isn't available. But I can't lie to y'all, this is just one of the best palettes I have ever tried, hands down. The matte formula in here is impeccable. I love Glaminatrix's matte formula. It is soft, buttery, pigmented, easy to blend, doesn't wear away on my oily lids. It's so effortless to use. I have no issues with any of them blending whatsoever. I do find that Witching Hour right here is the only shade I find that struggles a little bit because it is a dark purple. You have to be a bit more careful with it because it can be a little bit patchy if you're not babying it a little bit. But to be honest, one shade out of all of the mattes in here, that needs a bit of help. Like, I'm not mad. And the shimmers in here, like the duochrome, like some of these I could consider multi-chromes, to be honest. They are so sparkly, so dimensional, so intense. This shade Constellation is my favorite neutral shade, hands down. It is a beautiful, like, antique bronze that shifts to, like, a gold and a peach and a red. Like, oh, you can just see the shift there. It is magnificent. My favorite kind of look to do is actually, funnily enough, using this quad right here. And I have done a look where I have done like a smoky winged like liner and put Constellation like on the inner portion of the liner, and it was beautiful. Every time I wear that look, I've recreated that look multiple times. I feel glamorous, I feel gorgeous, I feel powerful. Milky Way in here is another one of my favorite shades. This is such a stunning iridescent. It's so sparkly and dimensional. I just absolutely love this palette with my whole heart. The color story is so unique. The formula is impeccable. It is top notch. I'm really sad that Glaminatrix have discontinued it. They have mentioned because they've had issues with it, you know, manufacturing and, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, which is completely understandable, but I'm really glad that they are going to be keeping these around as singles because this color story altogether is just perfect. Every time I look at it, I'm so inspired. It's my grungy goblin dream palette. I love it so much. And the other palette that is a #1 favorite is the one that I'm wearing today, and I mentioned it earlier. It's the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette. Now, funny thing is that every time I have mentioned this palette up until like now, I have called it the Nearly Neutral palette. I fully thought it was called Nearly Neutral. But no, it's Nearly Natural, so, that's a bit awkward. Literally got the palette name wrong this whole time. But as the name suggests, it is a neutral palette, and it looks like this. It is, honestly, like, this is my favorite neutral palette in my collection. Can I say that? Because the Geology Pilbara palette is also a favorite. I think this is tied with Geology Pilbara. I love those two palettes so much, and this one, it's neutrals, but it's got so much interest to it. The metallics in here are super foiled and sparkly and wet looking on the eyes. The mattes, again, are that Glaminatrix matte formula that is just perfect to work with. Like, I don't have any issues with any of these shades. Even the deeper shades like Naturally and Disrobe, these two dark shades are some of the best deep shades in my collection, like hands down. I have no issues with them blending out. Sometimes when I blend out deep shades, they can blend out to like a grey or just a bit desaturated. These don't have that problem at all. They stay punchy, they stay impactful, and they wear beautifully on the eyes. It is just such a joy to work with. This shade Nearly Natural right here is one of the sparkliest shades. I absolutely love it. I also love Unveiled, Naked Eye. The olives in here, I love that they included olives in this palette. I think olive is such an underrated neutral shade. I have like an olive undertone in my skin, and I find that like not many brands bring out olives. But finally they're coming back into style, and I really like it. There's such a variety of tones in here that I think that this is such a well-rounded neutral palette. It's got some cool tones, some olives, some mauvey colours, some browns, like warm browns. It's such a well-rounded palette. I've used this palette so much off camera. Like, I don't think I've used this palette on camera that much, but trust me, off camera, I have done so many looks with it. I think I have done like, probably like 8 looks with it off camera. It's just such an easy palette to reach for, especially in the summer where I was just like, it's too hot to do anything. I just want to put at least one shimmer on my lid and call it a day. I would reach into this palette for one of the shimmers and it's wonderful. It is such a wonderful palette. In the past year and a half, I have really fallen in love with neutrals again. I feel like I am now like a colourful and neutral lover, like equally. And anytime I wear this palette, I feel glamorous and gorgeous. It's just fantastic. I absolutely love it so much. I have a few singles to talk about from Terra Moons. I placed an order from them recently and I need to make a single shadow wish list video because there's so many singles that have caught my eye, but these are the singles that I've been absolutely loving lately. So the first one from Terra Moons is the Cosmos, the most famous Terra Moons shadow, I believe. This is just rainbow. It's a light blue and it shifts to like a seafoam teal with pink, gold, green. It's everything and it's kind of like a flakier formula. So I find for me, I like to pick up a tiny bit on my finger and like smooth it out on my lid with like a glitter primer or something like that. Like this shade is just ridiculous. Like look at that. Oh, I love doing like graphic liner with this. I love putting this all over my lid. It works with so many different looks. It's truly a rainbow in an eyeshadow. The other shade that I've been really loving from Terra Moons, and it's a green. Y'all know how I feel about greens, especially this tone of green. This is Coalescence, and it's kind of in the same vein as the Cosmos, except it has a light lime green base and it shifts to like a blue green, a pink, and a gold. This shade is a lot more smoother than the Cosmos, and it's just the fairy magical shade of my dreams. I'm swatching them on like the side of my hand, so hopefully you can see the shifts. My lighting isn't the best for showing shifts, I apologize. It's a shade I've been reaching for a bunch and I can't stop using it. And the final Terra Moons eyeshadow I have to talk about is this shade right here, which is Half Moon. Now this one isn't super shifty, but it is the most beautiful light blue shimmer. I absolutely love it. I love using this on my inner corners. Pairing it with the Cosmos is just wonderful. It does have a bit of like a purple sheen in it. Like it goes from like a light blue to a purple. But this shade is just perfect for the inner corners. I love topping this on top of other shades. And anytime I'm doing a blue look, this is the first shade I think to reach for. Because sometimes with the Cosmos, as much as I love the Cosmos, I don't want to have something like super shifty because the Cosmos immediately takes over any look that I do, and sometimes I want, you know, the graphic liner to stand out or, you know, something else to stand out instead, and Half Moon is honestly the perfect shadow to complement any of those sorts of looks. I absolutely love it, and the name speaks to my soul because it's one of my favourite locations in Skyrim. Half Moon Mill. Alright, just a couple more eyeshadows to talk about, and these are also singles but in like single like pot form. So the first one is the Colourpop Super Shock shadow in Ritz, the famous Ritz. Man, this shade has been another one of my most used eyeshadows lately. It is just a taupey silver and it is such a beautiful natural shade, and because it's that Super Shock squidgy formula, it's so easy to just smush all over your lid with just like anything and then call it a day. I love it so much. I mean, during summer, like during the heat wave we had in the UK, I simply did not want to put anything on my eyes. I just wanted to have quick makeup and call it a day, and again, I don't even know why I'm swatching this because you can't see how pretty it is. This is so glossy and wet looking on your eyes. It adds the most beautiful silver sparkle, and it works with pretty much anything that you want to do. It's such a beautiful complementary shade. And the final single shadow we have to talk about is actually a loose pigment, and this is from Titmouse Cosmetics, and this is I think they're called the Kaleidoscopic Loose Pigments. I believe that's what their name is. But this is the shade Prague. Now, you're not really going to be able to see it in this container, but I will insert like a swatch here because I am going to be useless at showing the swatch. This is such a stunning, extremely sparkly, like, loose pigment with like a light pinky base, and it shifts from pink to gold to green to blue. This is a rainbow in an eyeshadow, much like the Cosmos, except this is kind of like Cosmos's sheerer, sparklier pink sibling. This is a beautiful inner corner shade. I did receive this in PR as well from Titmouse, and I absolutely love this shade so much. I love topping it. This is a perfect— I've been mentioning a lot how all these different shades are good toppers, but this is such a good topper because it is so sheer and sparkly. Okay, a couple eyeliners we have to talk about. These are also unexpected favorites. Like, when I got these in the mail, I was like, okay, they're cool. I think I'll use them a bit. I don't think I'll use them that much. These are the Colourpop Creme Gel Liners, but specifically in these two shades. These are from the Avatar collection. This is the shade Groundbreaker, and this light champagne shade is— what's it called again? All the writing's rubbed off because I've used it so much. Blown Away. Now, these are shimmery Creme Gel Liners. Now, I'd never tried their shimmery formula before. Actually, that's a lie. No, I do have a silver from them that I really like. All the looks that I have been doing lately, because I've been doing a lot of neutral looks and a lot of looks that just kind of like that work with a brown and a champagne. All of the looks I have been doing, I have been using these eyeliners. Like, I'm using Groundbreaker in my waterline today, and it's just such a lovely tone of brown that just the slight shimmerness to it does add a bit of like something extra to it, and they've lasted my waterline pretty well. I will say that Blown Away, as much as I love it and it is like a lovely champagne shade, it does wear away quicker than the other creme gel liners that I have tried, but I honestly don't mind because it does brighten up my eyes really nicely, and it's been a nice alternative to white because I love using white in my waterline, but I have like slowly been converting over to this like light neutral shimmer, and it is so lovely. These complement all the looks that I've been doing lately, and I can see myself panning these, and I'm really scared because they are part of the Avatar collection that they're gonna be limited edition, and I'm not gonna be able to repurchase them when I run out. Because I will definitely, like, these are like liners that have become staples in my collection. I would definitely like repurchase these. Oh my god, I completely forgot to mention one of my all-time favorites, and the reason why I forgot is because I'm wearing them today, and the case for them has been like buried under everything else. So sorry that I'm like popping in here just a bit like, hello. So like I showed you, my favorite lashes lately have been the Lash filter lashes in a baby Feline. Now, they're not in the case, I'm actually wearing them today. We are up close and personal, but they are basically just beautiful half lashes that are like winged out. They are so, so gorgeous, and they're so natural and pretty. Like, I find that they are the most perfect lashes to pair with any look because they are just so lightweight and so like, I don't know, they're just winged out and they just make me feel super pretty. I have worn these lashes to death. Like, I am like pretty much certain that next time I place a lash filter order, I'm gonna be buying 3 pairs of these because they just work with every look. And even if I'm not doing anything super fancy, like I've mentioned, I've been liking to do more natural toned looks, I still love wearing these lashes because they are so weightless, so lightweight, and they just add a nice flair. And if you struggle with lashes, I highly, highly, highly recommend these ones because they're just half lashes. You just put them on the outer corner. You don't need to worry about the inner corner popping off or anything. Like, these are the easiest lashes I've ever applied. So I can't sing their praises enough. Lash filter, you really popped off with these lashes, and I am gonna buy more. Okay, we're wrapping things up talking about lip products. So the first lip formula I have to talk about, and y'all know my love affair with these, the Kaleidos lip clays. Now, these 3 are my 3 all-time favorite shades currently. My favorites keep swapping over because I just love all of the lip clays I have used. And I do have a video talking in depth about the formula of these and swatching them all on my lips and all of that, so if you want to see these colours like on my face, that video is the one to check out. But these are the colours I've been using the most. So we have the shades Bear, Cognac, and Adobe. Adobe has been my most used lipstick of all time currently. Like, ever since I got this, I bought myself a couple lip sets for my birthday this year, back in February, and Adobe, ever since I laid my eyes on it, it has been my most used lipstick. It is a beautiful peachy brownie neutral shade, And those kind of shades, I mean, I'm wearing one today, which honestly I feel like this shade is very similar to Adobe. Hang on, let me swatch them next to each other. I'll talk about this lipstick in a bit. The top swatch is Adobe and the bottom swatch is the lipstick I'm wearing today. They're the same lipstick. It flatters pretty much every look that I do. It's one of those lipsticks that's so easy to wear. The formula is really long lasting and really comfortable on the lips. And Adobe's sister, I would say, Adobe's pink cool toned sister. I mean, is this cool toned? It works with a lot of cool toned looks. This is the shade Bear, and I love this shade when I am wearing blue looks or when I want something a bit more pinky toned. Adobe is my perfect like brown tone nude, and Bear is my perfect pink toned nude. So these two together are an unstoppable pair. The final shade is Cognac, and this one is a gorgeous, gorgeous brick toned red. And this lipstick I have been wearing a lot when it comes to if I want something a bit vampy but I don't want to wear like a black or a really bold dark red. This is the most perfect brick tone red. So it is a red still and it's still bold, but it's like a bit more like of a neutral red, like a muted red, I should say. Not a neutral, a muted red. And I feel like this shade complements my hair color really nicely. Like I think especially like with my ginger hair, and anytime I wear it, I get compliments on it. And I just think it's such a beautiful, like, it's a nice way to wear a red without wearing like a bold, bright red. We only have 2 more products to talk about. So the penultimate product is the lipstick that is literally the exact same as Adobe from Kaleidos. And it's the lipstick I'm wearing right now. It's the Colourpop Lippie Stix. This is their Blur lipstick formula, and this is the shade Unreal. Unreal just caught my eye. I mean, it's a brown tone nude. This shade, like, I have used so much of this. Like, it is, like, getting, like, you can see the usage I've gotten out of this, and it's very new. I only got this, like, maybe, like, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. It's still pretty new to my collection, but I can see myself completely using this up. I love the tone of it, and because it's the Blur formula, I think I have learned. I had never tried the Lippie Stix formula from Colourpop, and they have a lot of different formulas within this range, but the Blur formula is my favorite. It's just so... It's like a blotted lip formula in a way. Like, it's matte, but it's not drying, and it's not too like... I mean, it glides on your lips, but it's not like slidey and creamy in the sense of like, you know, I'm worried it's gonna smear all over my face. It reminds me a lot of the Kaleidos lip clay formula, but in bullet form. And it also reminds me a little bit of the Odin's Eye Velvet lipstick formula as well. I really like this Blur formula a lot. It is fantastic, really long lasting too. And the final product we have to mention is also a Colourpop product, and this is one of their Lippie pencils, and this is in the shade Bumble. Now I remember this being super popular back in the day. Do you remember when the Kylie lip kits were like launching and everyone said that Bumble was a dupe for Candy K? I just unlocked a core memory for you guys in the beauty community if you were around that long. This shade is such a stunning shade. I know I'm very late to the bandwagon. I'm like several years late, like 5 years late or something. But this is a beautiful pinky toned neutral. Again, it reminds me a lot of Bear, but a little bit more pink. And this lip liner formula, I have already used like Colourpop lip liners in the past, and they are fantastic. They're lovely and creamy, and they're not like really stiff. I hate stiff lip liners, and it's why I didn't use lip liners for a long time. But this is so lovely and creamy. It glides on your lips lovely, and I love pairing this with just a pinky toned gloss on top. It just makes your lips look juicy, it defines them. I think this is such a flattering shade, and the formula is great, pretty long lasting too, and yeah. I've been loving this Bumble shade. Anyways, with all of that said and done, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know, what are some of your current favorites? Do we have any similar? I would like to know. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then you can follow me on my Instagram. It's beautyybyskye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. We are a small queer-owned business based in the UK, and we make handmade candles. The link to shop will be down below, along with our social media if you'd like to support us. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.